through your inventory, kind of to see who still had a ton of things and new items, who had a lot of blank counts, which kind of a sign that you had the still some opportunity for the inventory. And then you guys were supposed to have some idea of where to start with our TVA, where to start diving in. Do I have any volunteers who wants to go first? Anybody?
Nick, what was that question again?
So you guys were supposed to have, after last week's videos and reviews, you guys were supposed to have a little bit of an idea of how to identify the problems in your TVA and then where to start diving into them. So who wants to pick apart their TVA first? Somebody, anybody?
Okay, Nick, you can go with me. This is Beth talking.
Beth, what store are you at?
I'm at East Wichita.
Okay.
So forgive me, I sound like I just woke up because I did.
That's okay.
So I didn't smoke a pack of cigarettes.
Okay. All right, Beth. Oh yeah, Beth, you're gonna have to turn down your speaker. There we go. All right, so your food TVA was not bad at all. The 167. I think there were a couple things I saw in there, but let's see here. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
All right, I was meeting somebody else. So, what did you see in the TVA that you think you could improve on, or you could start digging into?
On the food would be definitely the bacon, like you said. I watched your videos again this morning, you know, just having 19 pounds typically online. That's way too much to have on Monday. Doing the fries and weighing them out is something that we're starting to do.
Okay.
But there was, Brad, are you on here right now? There was some that we saw that didn't add up correct, like on portion sizes and the cost per portion.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on here.
Do you remember what those ones were, Brad, that I told you about?
I believe we had a problem with butter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. I don't know if that's you, Beth, or somebody else.
I'm muted.
All right. Brad, what else did you guys see?
We also had I believe it was a problem with our wings.
Your wings don't look bad. You lost $12. I mean, for the week. So we're gonna dive in. So what's the first thing you actually do to start identifying what the cause is?
We go to the, I don't remember the name of the sheet, the cost of goods reconciliation, and make sure that everything adds up there.
Okay. So how's your COGS rec look for the week?
They looked pretty good.
Okay, so then where would the next place you go?
Recount.
Okay. So for me, the first place I go is I go to the All Food IVA. I'm going to give you guys one. So the first place I go is the All Food IVA. And the reason I go there is I try to determine if it's a recount or if it's an invoice error. And the reason I go there, you'll see here. So the couple of things I noticed, you had honey mustard was really high. So you're growing that. Your buns, you lost 8 packs. Okay, so you lost 176 mini buns. So to me, this, you know, if you have 3 packs on hand, you received 8 this week. Did you have 1 on hand yesterday? So every pack is what, 40? So you had 40 mini buns on hand yesterday?
I believe that's right, yes.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So with that said, so that means you're missing 320 buns. So let me zoom out a little so we can see. So you had, at the beginning of the week, you had about 120 buns. You received 320 throughout the week, and then you only had 40 left at the end of the week, which means essentially based on your ideal usage of what you sold, you lost more than you actually received this week. So I would double check my invoices. Did we really receive 320 mini buns this week?
You know, that may be a invoice here because I believe we didn't get one until yesterday.
So that's why I go to the All Food IBA, because so you could see your beginning inventory, you could see your ending inventory, your purchases. So we've got my beginning inventory, my purchases, my ending, my ideal usage, and then my variance. So I know, hey, there's no way that I lost 323 mini buns when I only received 320. So that's the first place. So we know right there you can gain a little bit of money back on your TVA, your butter. Butter is one that you just see people lose sometimes. We'll go through. So you had 15 pounds in the beginning of the week. You had 15 pounds at the end of the week. So you went through a whole case of butter, which is, according to recipes, 16 pounds more than you should have. So again, maybe a counting issue. It could be an ops issue. Maybe we ran out of oil. That's one for you to probably dig in just a little. Let me find it. So the dressing, honey mustard. Site's running a little slow today, you guys. It's they're doing a count. So it looks like this week you returned 16 gallons of honey mustard.
That's correct.
Okay. So when did you guys get in the 16 gallons of honey mustard?
Brad, do you know for sure? Was it on my vacation?
I believe that would have been last Wednesday.
Okay.
And then they got a pickup on Friday.
But you guys get it by the case, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So we'll have to. Okay, so so you're still shy 6. You grew 6 gallons somehow. So you ordered 4. This is one I'll dig into for you guys because something's not adding up there. When did you put the credit in?
The credit, the pickup was on Friday, so I doubt we'll get that credit until this week.
Okay. So I'll look into that. Overall, you guys, there isn't a ton for you guys to look at in your food IBA. You got a little bit of room in your bar in your beverage. So I wanted to go over that with you because obviously I got notes on everybody's IVAs and TVAs here. And so I was looking for volunteers. So let's look at your bar because you guys do have a couple of opportunities here. So your bar TVA was a little high at 267. Your non-rescue was a little low compared. So we'll look at that. So the first thing we're going to do is dig in the variance. So the first thing I saw was you lost $238 of yellow Red Bull. So first thing I think is that's got to be a count issue. There's no way you're going through, what's a case of Red Bull, 30 bucks? You know, that's 8 cases of Red Bull. The next thing I saw was the Naughty Brunette.
Hey Nick, would that yellow Red Bull have anything to do with the fact that our tropical Red Bull button mysteriously disappeared about 2 weeks ago?
Maybe. Is that for everybody?
Yes.
Because that's how we were ringing it in and how we were invoicing it. So if we're still invoicing it the same way, we just can't ring it in the same way because the button just disappeared along with, you know, a few others that we've asked about.
Okay. I don't remember seeing a ticket. I'll have to look. I don't really do a lot of Aloha stuff, so I'll have to look. But you did grow 162, so there's still about $80 of Red Bull missing there. So that's one to dig in. You'll see the Naughty Brunette, $172. So the Lagunitas IPA, $93. This Buffalo Sweat Stout, the 78 bucks. So you got a few kegs that are kind of up there in a variance. Now to check the other side, Boulevard. It seems like a lot of you guys were growing Boulevard. Is Boulevard what you guys use as a Twin Peaks beer? Anywhere in there?
No.
No, it's not a.
So I think about 3 of you guys were all growing Boulevard. Almost a keg. So you see here, Johnny Walker Black, you guys are about a bottle. So that could be a count issue. Maybe we counted an extra bottle last week. Bullet Rye, you had decent usage or theoretical usage of $26. But we had 57. Jaeger, you didn't sell much, but you used about a bottle. And then Crown Royal here, you see you grew it, and we grew Bullet. So the first thing I think is maybe we counted a bottle of Bullet as Bullet Rye, vice versa, because those almost wash each other out. Now the Crown Royal, I want to point out, as we get into your non-recipe, you'll say you have Crown Royal Maple. You're missing about, or you used about that much. Not missing because you didn't sell it. So what I think is going on, either you guys don't have a Crown Maple button, or we're ringing up one and selling the other. All right. So. And you see here you grew quite a couple of other things. So let's look at your non-recipe real quick. Your deposits are pretty close, not far enough away to really hurt you. But your Crown Royal Maple, you used $70 this week, but you didn't sell a single shot. So to me that says there's either a button missing or TPGs are selling Crown Maple, or they're selling Crown Royal and serving Crown Maple.
We are missing buttons,
Okay.
Crown Apple and Crown Vanilla, so we inventory it under Maple.
Okay, well that makes sense then. So vanilla and apple?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I can add those in for you. Let me get off the phone. And vanilla, right? And
Yes, sir.
are they the same price as the regular Crown?
I can get that to you today.
Okay. But overall, pretty good. So we'll check real quick your beer. So again, you can see the Crown Royal Maple kind of sticks out. The Bullet Rye, you'll see you guys are losing almost a bottle. But if we scroll down to the bottom, you guys grew almost a bottle. So I think that's just a counting issue, that we're not counting the right bottle. You see the Well Vodka, you guys grew 3.5 bottles this week. So you had 6 in the beginning, you received 3, your inventory was 3.5. Based on your usage, you used 9 bottles. You don't really have any big vodka loss up top, so that makes me think maybe a counting issue again. So your Naughty Brunette. So what are you guys using as your Naughty Brunette?
Our Naughty Brunette is
It's
a
Schlafly
Hefeweizen.
House Brown.
Schlafly.
Schlafly House Brown.
Okay. And is that for everybody in Casey Lodge?
I believe it is.
Okay. Trying to get-
Yes, St. Louis is too.
Okay. So that's one for you guys to look at, because that's almost 2 kegs that you guys were missing there. Now the
Well, I'll tell you, I think that we're missing it. We don't have a way to inventory the redhead, so we put it under Naughty.
Okay. We'll fix that right now. All right. Well, now you guys can inventory the Drop Dead Red. So you guys are back. Yeah. See, a lot of the stuff can be pretty easy fixes to go through. Now it looks like the Boulevard. You guys have the Boulevard Hoppy Wheat. You receive the Hoppy Wheat, but you're not counting it as Hoppy Wheat. Is it just missing out of your inventory set?
Yes, that would be it as well.
Okay.
Hey, Nick, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
It's Vincent Olathe. Hey, so like when we run across like the Leinenkugel Summer Shandy, for example, it's inventoriable now. It's one of the our newest items as far as draft beer goes.
Uh-huh.
But it's coming up as a 0 extended price. Is that something I can change, or do I have to have you change?
That is something for me.
Okay.
And East Wichita, you guys actually do have the Boulevard Hoppy Wheat in your inventory. You just have to find it. We'll take a look.
Okay, well,
Olathe, while I do this, so if you don't have a inventory value on something, that is, there's just a disconnect in the system somewhere. So either you are inventorying something by what you think it's called, or I've named it something else, or it's not on an order guide somewhere. So it's just a small disconnect for you not to have a price. And Beth, okay. So here's an easy example. So you guys are counting Boulevard. Hoppy Wheat is Boulevard. In your inventory guide setup, your inventory home, you have the guide setup. Now I'm looking for the Hoppy Wheat. It's not there. So this is all my active items. So I'm going to go to all. I'm going to change it from active to all. And you'll see when I click this little wheel here that it says inactive. Now it's active and I can drag this wherever I want to. So if I want to drag it into my keg cooler, I guess that's actually where it already lives, is now it's there. So
Okay, so actually we don't have Boulevard Hoppy. It's Boulevard Unfiltered Wheat. So we inventory it as Boulevard Wheat, but our button on Aloha says Hoppy Wheat.
okay. The unfiltered, not hoppy. Okay. That's an easy fix too. And so I can add that into your inventory for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See, some of these are easy fixes, you guys. It's just knowing I guess, to ask the question. So there you go. So now that's in your inventory. So now you can start carrying that correctly. But East Wichita, you guys have pretty good numbers. I think there's a little bit for you to clean up on the bar, and it sounds like it's more like buttons and inventory sets. So that's something for you to go through this week, is to come up with a list of what buttons you're missing versus how you're ringing things in versus what it really is, and you could send me a list, and we can get that all corrected for you. There were a few I wanted to go through, so you can see everybody's over here at Chesterfield. In their bar, I think they're just getting kind of nickeled and dimed. There are a few things I think you guys can tighten up on and some questions. The ones I really wanted to look at were Maplewood and Independence. Who's on, actually, Olathe? Who was on the phone for Olathe?
Well, I am, Vince. I think Tracy might be also.
So,
Yeah, I'm here as well.
what beer were you asking about?
It was the Leinenkugel Summer Shandy.
So, Nick, my question is, when we have a new item brought in, I'll send the new item spreadsheet to IT, and usually that new item will pop up for us to add to our inventory guide. But then I noticed that the button doesn't get added in addition. Is that a separate request that I need to be making?
No, it's just two. There's two of us that do it. So I do all the decision logic stuff, all the analytics stuff, and Kevin Ferguson does all of the Aloha stuff. So with the Aloha stuff, there's a little more to it. Him and Jerry handle that. Me adding stuff is a little bit quicker than adding buttons. It might take them 2 days, and it might take me a couple of minutes, just depending on workload that comes in. So all those times where EDC doesn't add up for you guys, or credit cards are missing, sales go crazy, things like that. Things aren't printing correctly, happy hour changes, all that's Aloha stuff. So those guys get backed up because there's so many requests every happy hour, every around the horn, whatever it might be. So there might be a little delay in that. If it still doesn't pop up, just send the request back and say, hey, I still haven't seen it after about 3-4 days, and you guys should be fine. Vince, who do you guys get the Summer Shandy from?
That's Midwest Distributors.
How are you guys receiving it?
We would be receiving that by a half barrel.
Yeah,
But I don't see Midwest in here at all.
Well, Midwest is who we get. Coors Light, Miller Lite.
Would I have them as a different name?
I'm trying to look.
So if you see here, these are all the people I have the Summer Shandy through for kegs, correct?
Yeah.
Isn't that Central States?
No, it's not. It's not Central States.
No, we do get it from Midwest, but we've only started carrying it 2 weeks ago. So I put request in the new item request, and I'm positive I put the vendor as Midwest Distributors.
I think it's Central States in Missouri, but it's Midwest in Kansas. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah. Okay. So Olathe, That's why you guys aren't seeing a price. Midwest. All right, I'll get that added in there for you so you guys will see a price. So you'll see, I mean, it's not on your order guide right now, so I'm not sure how you guys are receiving it. You've been bringing eggs in because it's not on your order guide.
I know the request was sent in, so when we received the keg, it was received a couple weeks ago. We got a couple kegs in, so I just received it as Blue Moon, I believe, because the price was similar.
Okay. And I apologize if we've missed some of these requests. You guys, as you know, we're changing all the email addresses to, instead of at FBRest to TPRest. And I know the system is down for about a day, or it didn't forward everything. It may not have forwarded everything over. So I apologize. If there's anything we're missing, feel free to email me directly, and we can get it sent over for you guys and get it completed.
Yeah, and I apologize, Nick, because that was a little tricky because we knew it was going to be on the new menu. So we tried to, run out of product and get that product in, thinking we still haven't received our drink menu. So we were kind of trying to be proactive to get it in, and we got it in obviously a little early.
That's all right. So who's on the phone from Maplewood? Anybody? How about Independence? Independence?
John Kelly was on a minute ago, and then a little thing popped up and said he left.
I saw that. So, well, I'm gonna dig through theirs to show you guys a couple examples of how to start diving in. Again, so again, I go to the TVA, I pull up their variance, 8.5. Something's got to be off. So the first thing I start looking at is for these big ones. Bacon, $100 in bacon, $120 in thick bacon. So I start looking at all this, and right there he's got almost $500 or so, $600, $550 in just in meat loss, right? And a few others here. There's no growth, so there's no big miscounts. $185 in fries, which is what 9 cases of fries, which is really high for the week. Hollandaise sauce. When I see a theoretical that's $3.79 but $94 in actual, that says either it's a count issue or a received issue. Same thing with sweet potato wedges. Green chilies dice, garlic and water. So these kind of scream to me count issues, because there are quite a few things with low theoretical but high actual. So this is what we should have used. This is what we really did. There are a few other things in here for them. They grew a few things. You'll see like whole pickles, brown sugar. When I see items on a TVA that there's low theoretical, high actual, so we're missing a whole lot, but we shouldn't have used barely any. And then I see growth like this. It kind of tends to me that maybe there was some counting issues. Maybe we were off the line when we entered things in. Maybe we didn't tally up the sheets. I'm not sure. And then we look at a variance of chicken. It's 236 here, 193 in smoked wings. And that's almost a whole case of smoked wings, or a little more. Those things are expensive, but good. And seafood's pretty easy, and produce, not a lot. The avocados, probably 2 cases, fairly normal. But looking at that, the juice lime, and since I don't see tomatoes or cilantro in there. I don't think they wasted any avocado smash. So again, I try and group things together. These two always go together. But since I don't see any tomatoes or cilantro anywhere, or onion, I know that we didn't just throw out a ton of smash. So we'll jump into those. We'll look at the bar as well. The first thing, can anybody see something that just looks out of whack looking at these numbers in here?
There's a negative
recipe cost.
All right, beautiful. So when we look at non-recipe cost, one thing that I think I said on almost everybody's video is non-recipe cost, we want to make sure that people are picking up kegs every time. If they're not picking up kegs, then it's going to hurt us. And so they had $300 in deposits for the week, but you could see they had $1,100 in returns. Now we could look for the period. High, the non-recipe cost is better. We'll look just for 2 weeks. Non-recipe cost still kind of high, so I think they need to. There's something going on with their kegs. They need to, return, mark the deposits and the returns correctly. That's why they have a negative. Also, look here. They didn't use any well tequila last week, which I think is kind of hard to believe. But if they really didn't, they went through $85 worth of it. And at, $9 a bottle or so? That's got to be a count issue. Myers Rum, another bottle. Absolute Pepper, a bottle. Tuaca, a bottle. Sailor Jerry, a bottle. So this says to me, again, looking at the food and looking at the non-recipe here, it's a count issue. Looks like we're missing about a case of all these O'Fallons, and I know those were all fairly new. Sam Rebel IPA. So this kind of says count. There might have been something wrong with their counts. They grew some things as well. Now remember, if they had bad counts in week 3 and they have good counts in week 4, it'll misrepresent it as well. So we'll jump into food or the beverage IBA. So well tequila. So they had 10 bottles. They didn't even enter a count for this week, so that's why they're missing it. Let's see, Patron. So they had 6, 2. So that might be a miscount. Tito's Vodka, we'll see if it's the same. So no count there. So you wonder if, again, maybe it's a miscount. Do I think they're missing 3 bottles of Tito's? Probably not. Do I think they're missing 10 bottles of well tequila? Absolutely not. So I would suggest they go back, make some changes. They could drive down their, what was their bar cost? It was a $4.29. They could definitely drive it down a couple of points by making sure some of those counts are in there correctly. Same thing with the Sam Adams IPA. No ending inventory. Did they go through a keg and a half? Who knows? Bud Light, probably the same. O'Doul's. Obviously, they didn't sell 137 bottles of O'Doul's. So this is how we dive in and start digging here. Let's see. So I'm going to guess they had a bad count in week 11 or week 3. Week 11. What we'll do here is we'll jump back a week. There's our O'Doul's. So 195 bottles to 111. Maybe they sell that much O'Doul's. I don't know. They only sold 10 bottles, but they are missing 74. So that's something we should have looked into last week. It's compounded into this week, and it's given them kind of a misrepresented bar cost. Independence, and nobody's on for Independence.
John was, then I think he left.
All right.
He may be.
So we'll jump through this one because there's a few in here as well. A lot of it was just, I think, miscounts again. You know, to have a 3.5 bar. The non-recipe looked good. Kegs matched up pretty good. The deposits were a little bit higher than the returns, and that's normal. You know, there wasn't really any non-recipe usage. I think it just comes down to counts. But again, that's one. Now, East Wichita, hold on. You guys said you guys were missing the yellow Red Bull button, correct? Is everybody missing it?
Yes, east and west.
Okay, east and west. Yeah.
I saw it on my list too, so I'm assuming we must be missing the button also in Olathe.
I would guess so. I'm curious as to how just a few of you guys are missing it though. Yeah, east, west, and Olathe. So then, since Independence isn't on, we'll jump through you a little bit. So your non-recipe cost is a little high. That's all right, because we know some of it is was this Myers rum here. You can see Myers rum. You got $108. Patron XO 72. So we know this is probably your. Is this probably Crown Vanilla and Crown Apple as well?
Yes. The Myers rum, though, kind of disturbs me because it's been a 0.3 for a year. And I always inventory it as a 0.3, so I'm that's confusing to me.
We'll jump into your beverage IVA. And actually, so I wish I knew how to spell today. All right, so that one was not even on your IVA, but it is now. So we can see where it is. So Myers rum right here, you're missing 2 bottles, it says. And it says that you received 2 bottles this week. So maybe we received it as Myers rum when it should have been received as something else. Because you counted it as a 0.3, both at the beginning and the end of the week.
Yeah.
I would look.
The only thing, Nick, the only thing I can think of with that is, because it's been a 0.3, so I've been there 2 years, it's been a 0.3 for 2 years. But remember how I was having all those problems with the Lucas invoicing?
Yes.
And it doubling? I may have had to put something in under that to get it to get my invoice to match. I can't remember exactly. I'm getting old, and that was last week. But that's the only thing I can think of because, like I said, Myers I haven't ordered. It hasn't changed in forever.
If you want to take a look through your beverage IVA today, like Patron XO, I doubt you're missing 2 bottles.
No.
I don't think anybody on the planet drinks that stuff.
See, now the Patron XO, remember the Lunazol, which was on my new items list,
Okay.
the invoicing was messed up, so I had to receive it as Patron XO to get my invoice to match.
Okay.
So that's why it's there, because I haven't ordered Patron XO in forever.
Yeah, because it's disgusting.
And you told me that you were in the process of still trying to get that figured out, right?
So DL and I did some testing on my test site, and we were able to replicate the error, and they have a developer working on the issue now.
Okay.
So we can discuss that to how you can do that. If you want to give me a call later today.
Yeah, I have an invoice from yesterday from Lucas that I'm going to have to put in. I didn't put it in yesterday because I didn't have time. I'm going to put it in today.
why
So
don't you give me a call sometime today, and I'll walk you through how you can do that
okay.
until we figure it out.
Yeah, because some of those numbers that are off on there are just because I was scrambling trying to put, since I couldn't get the invoice to match, I had to put something in under Patronixo, something in under Myers.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, overall, you guys have definitely improved in 4 weeks, and everybody is getting better. We missed a couple in here, but everybody is all in. A point. West, there's a little bit, or east, there's a little bit. And Chesterfield, I think there's just a little bit of count issue there, or making sure we're receiving things correctly. But overall, you guys have done incredibly well, and you guys have dropped everything. So what are some questions you have for me? So some final questions. You guys can put together a list. If we got to make sure buttons match what we're receiving, how we're counting, send us a list. We'll get everything corrected. But what are some questions you guys have? Or some outstanding issues, if you will?
Nick, this is Lance from West. I had emailed you yesterday about the problem I was having with it. It seemed like there was an invoice that was put in twice. And you had me delete the one from manual received, and I did that, but it still shows a really large variance on, I see you had it on my list of like the Blue Curacao and Well Rum. They were just out of control. So I mean, we actually received the full case. We're buying full case on our cheaper well stuff because we get it even cheaper if we buy a full case. Sometimes we even get a free bottle. So my cost of goods reconciliation that you're on now look great now, but before it was off almost the exact amount of that invoice. So I deleted that invoice, and it didn't make a change on my on the variance.
Did you actually hold on? Let me.
Yeah, there it is. It's still for almost 12 bottles, and we have it sitting back there, and we counted it, but it doesn't show it being received.
And you got it by the case?
Yeah, we bought a full case of it.
And you bought it last week?
So much. Yeah, it came in on the 5th.
Okay. So when you were off, Lance, let me see if I still have a picture of it somewhere in here. No. I take screenshots of everything. That's how I keep track.
It was off. It was off the exact amount of the liquor on the invoice, and the $5.77 was, or $5.77 worth of wine. It was the exact amount of the invoice that I was off. And now it shows me having no cost of goods problem on the liquor at all.
Well, because I think we had, if I remember correctly, because you have one invoice for ABC Discount Liquor in here, right?
That one right there, that first one you're touching right now, was the one that was in there 2 times.
Yes.
And I deleted that one from the manual received like you instructed in your email.
Yeah.
But it didn't change my IVA.
I could run an update to do it because you did it after you posted inventory, correct?
That's correct, sir. Okay.
So let's just make sure we have the same information there. So if we do something that after that, like let's see if this corrects it. If we do something like that after we post our inventory, we need to run a DL update. You guys don't have the ability to do that anymore, simply because when 80 stores try and run an update all at once, which happens, it ends up,
It's all FUBAR.
yeah, it backs the system up pretty good. And then you guys all call and complain that DL's broken and nothing's working.
This is not true. Come on.
Yeah, no, it is. I'll show you my phone record. So I'll have to, every Tuesday morning now, we run an all-store update. So I'll have to run
DL update for us.
yeah. And so that's on my list for today now.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll fix that one for you guys, and I'll see what's going on. What else? What other kind of questions do we have?
Hey, Nick, Vince, and Olathe, I just want to make sure I'm clarifying I'm on the same page moving forward. So when I have the problem like I had with the Leinenkugel Summer Shandy coming up as a 0 extended inventory amount, what is the proper, so is that just a quick little email to you?
Yep, you guys can email support, so I get all those emails. They all go to my inbox. So just this morning, you know, there's only been 9 emails, but these are all the emails from the support. You know, I'm pretty good. You know, I have 9 still. I have, you know, these aren't even for me. So I'm good about making sure we have it. We've also got a tracking system that tracks every email that comes into that support.
Okay, so I got another kind of part 2 to that. So under received prices, now if I'm able to access the week that that product came in, is there a way through received prices to make that right, or is that a vendor issue that has to go through you?
For the summer shandy?
Yeah, because remember you said that we couldn't find the vendor, and I thought maybe would that be something that would have to go through you, and I wouldn't, even if I could access it through received prices, wouldn't be able to fix it anyway, right?
And who was the vendor?
Midwest.
And that's for Olathe, right?
Yeah.
Let's just look for last week.
It came in a couple, probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember.
So if you're receiving it as Blue Moon, we can't. This report does nothing for it. We just have to make sure you guys just. How do I say this? If you don't see any movement or you haven't seen an email from the tracking system, here, and I'll show you what this looks like. I mean, it's every email you guys send, and you know, I think I sent one to, I don't think anybody here, West Wichita. So I'll show you what a ticket looks like. There we go. So you guys sent something in on 7/7, Boulevard Wheat. I sent something back to the store. I needed info on the Walnut River. I created the ingredient and the recipes. So we track all the emails we send back, all the responses we send back. And if you guys haven't seen anything come through in a couple of days, feel free to email back to support. And you can, you know, ask for the status on the ticket. You know,
Gotcha.
We've got, at any given time, you know, there's 80 tickets in here. Now, some of these are you know, Jerry's left in here as reminders. But there's 80 tickets. You see just from the 10th, you know, how many tickets there are. You know, from here to the 11th. And that doesn't include all the ones we closed out already and have completed. So feel free to send us back something. You know, and at least now you know, I know Matt got to meet me during the conference. So he's got a face to the name. At least you got a voice. You know, so you guys feel free to email and find out the status instead of just dealing and putting Band-Aids on things. You know, like receiving the Summer Shandy as Blue Moon.
Well,
Hi, Nick. Hey, so Olathe, did you receive the forwarded IT email that I originally sent with the new item sheet for Summer Shandy? I sent that during the call.
I don't know. I'll have to look. And you guys are sending it to IT support at tprast.com?
Originally I did, but since we've been on the call, I went ahead and just forwarded directly to you the original new item sheet information that I had sent IT.
I don't see it because the only things that stay in my personal inbox are things that
yeah, that's.
Is this it?
Okay.
Then I'll look at that one today. I'll go back and make sure that it's finished. So what else do you guys have?
Hey, Nick, it's Brian from West.
Yeah.
We were having a problem with the extended price for a couple of ours too. Our Patron XO and the Rex Goliath Cabernet are doing the same thing.
Okay. So all of you, what I'd like all you guys to do is put together a list of things that you have either extended price issues on. We'll do this together. So,
Hey, Nick, my email's wrong right there, bud. Put the extra L.
I don't know where I got that from. I think it's from Denny. I'll blame him. So send in. Oh my God, I can't type. List of no extended values. Products we are receiving as other products. Missing buttons. What else do we need a list of? Because that should take care of all your LBW issues right there.
So along with the no extended values, maybe anything that's got a incorrect extended value also, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Because I could tell if that's either a bid file issue or you can just run the received price report issue.
Gotcha.
So if you guys want to send in this, and you can send it. So what you can do is you can send it directly to me, and then I will forward it on to support so I can track and just make sure it gets done. But if you guys send me that stuff, then we could chip away at it this week. So the sooner the better. And then I'll respond to you that all the parts have been finished and if anything's missing. So the more thorough you guys are, the more you reap the rewards. Oh, I should have put on there anything missing from our inventory counts. So you have to remember that one.
Hey, Nick, I have a question. This may be a stupid question, but bear with me.
No?
So, for instance, I'm just going to use I have Chivas as an extended amount of $15.19, which is incorrect, right? So if I were to order in Chivas this week, if I went into extended prices and changed that, would that fix that issue?
Who do you get it from?
Lucas Liquors.
Oh, of course you do. All right. So
I'm just. The question mainly is for moving forward. You know, just so I have a grasp of what I can do versus what I have to go to you on, you know?
So Lucas Liquor, so it's in there at $39.44.
When I inventory it, it comes up as like $15.16 for some, or something weird like that. Is it possible that it's like half of the value? I don't know.
I mean, that's...
I just use that as an example of something that I know it's been a... I guess my concern is I want to know in the future if I were to change the received price, would it fix that issue?
Yes, if you change the received price and you go accept and accept, so let me jump back in there. So we go...
I haven't ordered it in quite a while, so...
Well, if you just go to, I'll use the here, but if we accept the order price, accept it as the bid price, meaning we're going to take the received price and overwrite the bid price, then it will correct it.
Okay.
But I will, yeah, anything like that, you guys, I mean, because all that is you know, you're hurting yourselves by not getting the right dollar value.
Right.
So stuff like that, if it doesn't change after you run the received price report, if you just have a question, you're more than welcome to send an email and let me know. You know, Mondays, Tuesdays, I might be slow getting back to you. It's always easy at the end of the week to get a hold of me because nobody worries about inventory on Thursdays and Fridays, ever. So for Friday afternoons, I find myself looking for things to do, just because nobody's trying to do invoices or count. So, so what other questions you guys have? Do you feel more comfortable now? We feel a little better?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I want you guys to send me the list. What we'll do is we'll probably do in 2 weeks. So now we've gone through our TVA again. We've gone through our IVA. We know the questions to ask. We've got a good list of things to look at. Our inventory count sheets, extended values, things that we've just been put Band-Aids on. So you guys send me those lists as soon as possible, and then we'll set up a time in 2 weeks, and then we'll look to see at the movement you guys have made. All right?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Nick.
Bye.